This video will show you how to use Qcad CAD program to draw a DXF file to run in the CAD2Lathe program. This is the CAD2Lathe program. To set this up, you would do the setup data, read the instructions. Okay, this is my destination. I could add a folder here if I wish and add the backslash if I wanted to say DXF backslash. Right now I'm just going to leave it alone. If this here is my destination, it would not work on your computer if you had something like this. So you click browse and you would select desktop, which I already have, and then you would create it. You also could add any extension to lathe, or you could call this whatever you wish. If you at the beginning of CAD2, I should have told you that. Let's see if I can get it back. Alright, exit that. Okay. Up here you see this is what CAD2Lathe has actually been saved to. So Mach3 is what it's saved to, diameter mode, and the units are inch. To change that, you would select that, and then you would select the Linux CNC because you're already in. There's only two choices, either Mach3 or Linux CNC, and then you would select the units you're going to work in, inch or metric. I'm an inch. Then you would select the X mode. This is diameter, which the G-code would read the diameter would be our radius. So whichever one you select, that's what the G-code will look like. Okay, then you would select whatever feed mode you want, feed per rev or feed per minute. Then you would click the turn calculator. Since I've already done this before, I've already set this up for a stock diameter of 1.75 or 1 3/4 is the raw stock diameter. That would be done by clicking on this and entering the diameter and so on. You would get all this. So I've already calculated that, so I don't need to do that. Over here you have a tool number which you could enter or you don't have to enter. On X back off, if you click on the label, it comes up with what it's going to do. It's going to back off the stock and then go back to 0, the stock diameter. Okay. The Z start position is usually, if you're using a lead in this example, our lead in is going to be 50 thousandths. Part scale, you can do here, you just click that. Well, I guess I don't have a call out for that one. Okay. Then you would change it to half size, 0.5 or whatever. Save. You would save it. All input data is saved. Next, click on Open the DXF. Okay, open it. I've created a finished profile with everything on it, and it's called what the heck? Oh, DXF. I got so much on my computer, I should have used. Well, I could try this. Let's try this one. Open in Mach3. You can give it a name or whatever you want. Okay. Enter the stock. It's 1.75 is the raw stock diameter. Okay. Tool number offset. Okay. it's created. So here you could edit it or rename it. Here it is right here. This is just one, this is the finished pass diameter. And I calculated that. I'll show you. You can go here and enter from the icon, from Qcad icon, you click on the target box and you can paste it into here. Copy and paste it. And then you can run it. I already have it up, so it may not run. It doesn't. Okay, so if I, well, I have it up, so it would have came up if I clicked it. Okay, let's go to Mach 3. Let's try Mach 3. I'll show you what it looks like. Mach 3 is over here. Oh, that's mill. That's the mill. Sorry about that. I got to delete that. Clicked on the wrong one. I got the mill. Close that out. Go to Mach3Turn. And I'm going to move it over. Well, I got to get out of there. Move it over. Make it a little bigger if I can. Okay. Click on manual. Set reset 00. Load the file. And the file was lathe nc.nc right there. And there it is. That's the finished profile. Now, what we got to do here is we got to put in all this roughing. We got to add all the roughing into here and then do the profile. So, okay, that's what it looks like in Mach 3. So let's exit Mach 3 and go to open on the Qcad that file we created, the DXF file. This is how I'll show you how it was created. So I'll go to the print that I had. This is the print I had. On the shop print is all the dimensions you need. By using basic mathematics, you can come up with this. Connecting the dots to get that finished profile I just showed you. So you would have a lead in, start point, profile start. You would calculate all the lengths and diameters, or radius. This is based on radius, so you're doing half the part. So CAD2Lathe does draw in the upper left-hand quadrant, which is plus on Y and minus on X. And then CAD2Lathe converts that X and Y to the G code of X and Z for the G code. So we would enter all that into the DXF writer like this. That would look like this. That would look like this. And then you would enter all these values, and then you would select end of profile. It tells you right there. Then you would make the DXF file or create it. Then you could rename it if you wish. So that's how we derived the finished profile. So let's get out of this. Okay, now I'm going to bring up the finished profile. I got to open it. It was we'll get it. Right, try that. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Take the grid off. Here it is right here. Now what we got to do is we got to add a polyline up here to start the roughing passes. What this will do is we'll establish the roughing passes. Then we'll establish, well, first of all, we'll establish the offset for the finish roughing pass. So let's do that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the menu, and we're going to select offset with a distance. Up here, you see the distance is going to say be 20 thousandths offset. Change that to 20. Change this to 1. We're only going to do one pass. And then we select that, and there it is. So now that's done. Up here, now we got to add a line so we can offset all the roughing passes. So let's exit out of this, or get out of it, by clicking that. And then we're going to add a line. We're going to draw a line, a polyline. And we're going to start it I'm just drawing a line here. I'm going to correct it. Alright, there's a line. Now what we're going to do is exit this, and we're going to click on that line, and we're going to Properties Editor. Now on Properties Editor we have a start and and an end. So 0 is the start and 1 is the end. So we need to change the start to on X is going to be 050, the start, 0.050 thousandths, and Y is going to be 1.75. No, pardon me, that's the diameter. We want the radius, so it's 0.875. Whoop, what the heck did I do? Oh, that's got to be point. Alright, in the end, we've got to correct the ends. Click back on it. Go to the end 1, and we're going to say about 4, we're going to 30 thousandths left, so say 4.7, 2.47. And 1 minus, no, 0.875. That's the radius. Okay, there's the line. Now we can offset it. So what we got to do here is click on that, go back to modify, offset with a distance. Oh, we got to change this. Say we're going to do 25 thousandths, let's say 35 thousandths. So that'll be 3, 5. You can enter anything here, like if this was plastic, you probably could cut more. You could say 50 thousandths. If this was steel, you'd have to say less. So let's assume that this is plastic or Delrin or something like that. So we could say 50 thousandths, okay? So that's 100 thousandths off the diameter. Remember, this is cutting the radius. Alright, now we got to change the how many passes we want. So let's try 20. It might be more or less. Alright, there's 20. When you see this line, you click it. Oh, we went too far. Okay, so we'll have to delete some of these lines. So what we'll do is we'll get out of this, and we'll take and highlight everything up to that right there. And this is the delete. Delete. Now we're going to use auto trim. Go to modify, auto trim. Where are you, auto trim? Right there. Okay. Now auto trim works is you click on what you want to save. So we want to save everything that's on the other side of the finish profile. Rough finish, pardon me. The finish rough profile. Okay, so we're going to make it a little bigger. And then we're going to start trimming. That's gone, that's gone, gone, gone. Just keep going all the way up. We got a problem here. For some reason I don't know, but we can correct it. There's no problem there. We can correct that. Okay, that's done. Now to correct that line, we have to go make it bigger. And then we get out of this. And we click on that line, and we're going to use the property editor again. So over here, we want to correct the endpoint, which is 1. And we're going to say 0.75. Or let's say 7.6. We can always change it, correct it. Alright, it's a little shy. But if we want to really correct it, we can do that. You don't have to, but we can do it, just to show you can do it again. 1 is the end point. 0 is the start point. Let's say 7. Okay, we're going to leave it there. We're pretty close to the roughing finish pass. Alright, so everything looks fine. Now, okay. Now the last step to this is to create the cut order. You click on this and you go to drawing order. You want to start with 0. Okay, 0. Then you go 1, 2, all the way down till you get to the end. So that would work like this. In the CAD2Lathe program, it would cut 0 first, and 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to whatever we come up with. So let's start doing it. So let's change this one to 1. The next one to 2. If you make a mistake, you can correct it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's make it a little bigger. Okay, this next one is 12. 12, 13, and 14. 14. And 15, the roughing finish pass, 15. And the finish pass, 16. See, that was 0, so we got to change that to 16. Okay, now suppose one of these was out of order, and CAD2Lathe would draw what it sees. So when we go to Mach3Turn, it would show that, so that we can go back to the DXF and correct that, and it would be right. So right now, the last step to this is to create the file. So save as. We want to save it as an R12 right here. And we're going to call it lathe qc.dxf. And we're going to save it to, alright, we can save it to the desktop. Alright, save it to the desktop. Okay, usually I wouldn't have, I'd save it to a file like DXF. Okay, yes, I already have that because I've done it before. Yes. Okay, it's ready. We open up CAD2Lathe. And here's CAD2Lathe. Now all we got to do is we got this all set up for the raw stock diameter, the feed rate and all that. All we got to do is click on open the DXF. So we click on that. Here's desktop. We want, there it is right there. Open it. It says click on the next, make G-code. Click that and it's done. You can enter your tool comment. Remember to put the raw stock diameter in here. 0.75, 1 3/4 diameter. Okay? You can enter a tool number if you wish. Offsets. Okay? It's created. So over here, if you want to look at it, this is what it looks like. The header and the footer. Right here is already saved to a file before. G95, a feed rate per revolution. Profile tool, it does everything that I just entered. Here's the feed rate. There's no coolant because this is plastic or Delrin. And let's see what it looks like in Mach 3. Exit. Exit that. Bring up Mach 3. Here comes Mach 3. Okay, reset. Load the file. That was lathe NC. We didn't rename it. Didn't come up. Let's edit it and see what happened here. Well, something's wrong. Oh, did I get the right file? Where's the editor? Oh, there it is right there. Why didn't it come up? Something wrong with oh, I know why. I think let's get out of that. Go back to Mach3Turn. Might be because I was in the I didn't do it right for some reason. Anyways, load desktop. Here, I did something wrong, but I don't know what it was, but there it is. If we want to run it, I guess we could do that. Make it a little bigger. Alright, let's leave it there. Cycle start. comes down to the beginning, makes the first pass. So if I made a mistake on the drawing order or the cut order, you'll see it here. I wonder if I can make this a little faster. Let's try feed or feed hold. Go a little faster. Cycle start. That's a little faster. Okay. We'll just have to wait it out. Next pass. Remember, we're cutting 100 thousandths off the diameter. Like I said, this is Delrin. If it was steel, you'd have to do a lesser roughing pass. Probably have to do like maybe 20, 30 thousandths. Remember, we left a finished roughing pass of 20 thousandths, so it'll cut 20, that'll be 40 off the diameter. We're in the diameter mode up here. Diameter mode. So we're reading diameter here. If this was radius, we would be reading radius here. Now, CAD2Lathe would by establishing the mode, either diameter or radius, that reflects here. Alright, we got, we're not even half done with the roughing. So what we established here is, if I did the DXF right, it had finished the thread profile, well, thread diameter, and then you could use the Mach3 threading wizard to thread that diameter after you cut this. So far I've did it right so far. You can always make mistakes in CNC. You have to double check. Therefore, I suggest that you dry run the program or cut it on a piece of wood or something like that before you really use your stock. But usually if it runs right now, it'll run right on the part. Okay, it looks like we're getting pretty close to finishing the roughing. Okay. So far, no mistakes. Now it's going to do that little bit in the front there. Now it's going to do the roughing finish pass. Here comes the roughing finish pass. There's the roughing finish pass. There's the 45. There's the 60 thousandths radius. 150 thousandths fillet at the angle. And then the finished diameter of 1.5. Oh no, that wasn't the finished diameter, 1.5. That was the roughing finished diameter pass. Okay, now here comes the finished pass. There's the lead in, 45 degrees, and another 45 degrees. Now, finish radius, finish diameter, finish fillet, finish angle, and the finish diameter of 1.5 right there. And then this finish diameter. coming up, well, it isn't finished, but that's the roughing diameter right there. Well, that's it. The part is done. I hope this video was informative. Thanks for watching this video. Finished part.